Hi there. Welcome back to another little mini episode of MacGyver's Workshop as we're working on our house build project here, and we're really making some progress, or visible progress. And let me show you what we got here. So we're working on the back porch, and I'm putting the railings up. And my guy down there at the local building supply talked me into using this idea for the split rail for the rails instead of the little, scrawny spindles, and which I was worried about because anytime I've ever seen a front porch with those little spindles on them, within a few years they're either broken or they're coming apart or they're warped or something. So he suggested that in country houses they're using this the same 5/4 board you use on decking for your railing. So basically what we got is 4 runs of the 5/4 board, and of course you have to comply with codes, so the bottom hole has to be less than 4 inches, and in between the rails, has to be less than 4 inches or less. So, or I think a 4-inch severe can't pass through it or something like that. That's what the code reads. And so anyway, this is what we got going here. And I promised everybody that on my Facebook album that I was going to show how I'm going to make the top handrail here. So stay tuned. Okay, so basically what we're going to do here is we're going to take a 2x6, and of course this is pressure treated, and we're going to lay it across the top here. I'll show you. Where it'll lay across the top of the top rail and cover these posts. Now you'll see that a 2x6 is actually 5.5 inches, so that gives us a little tiny bit of overlap on each side. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use our trusty router with what's called a roundover bit. Now, these things here are just about short of unobtainium, because they're the two things you can be very sure of is, and that's one, that they're very sharp, and two, they're very proud of them. But that's why I never got into the high-end woodworking. It was an expensive hobby. But anyway, this is a roundover bit, and it has its little cutting edges right there. There's 2 of them. Then it has this little ball bearing, and I'll show you over here what it does. And it'll basically round over this edge here, and the little ball bearing keeps you from getting too far into it and getting yourself in trouble and ruining your wood. So now that I got my bit in here, I set the depth to where the bit just mates with the top here. And what that'll do, see if I can get a better shot here. I've got the cutting edge of the bit to where it's just at the height of the top of the wood, and that way your roundover should mate up flush with the top of the wood, so it'll require less trimming and sanding. So let's see how this works. And of course you always want to try it out on a test piece first. Alright, so let's give this a try here, shall we? So as you can see, what that did was is that took and made a nice pretty rounded edge here, and because we set our depth right on the bit, it's just a little bit with some sandpaper, and that's all you got to do. So now it looks like my bit set right. We'll go ahead and do our real piece. So now we have us a nice handrail with a nice smooth rounded top on it. So now let's trim it up, measure everything, and get her in place, and you can see what the finished product will look like. Okay, I have to pardon the wind noise if there's any. The wind's blowing a little bit. But our railing is going to have to tuck around here just a wee bit. And then it'll come out here and go halfway on the front of this. So here we have it. This section here is all mounted up. You can see how I've got the extra blocking under there. That makes this nice and sturdy. And under here we have this blocking, which also kind of makes up for a little mistake there with the height difference in this post. And also, you'll see that one other thing that's common with porch railings that I've noticed, or every one that I've noticed, is that you can get out into the middle of the span here and rock the thing back and forth, and this is good and solid. The combination of this 2x6 being screwed down into this 1-inch 5/4 board makes an extra angle in there, which really makes it super strong and sturdy. So I never have to worry about that feeling wonky or cheap. And then of course here's our other blocking on this side, and a couple of screws. And then it comes out halfway through the column here, and we'll pick it up from there and go on with another one. And then once we get out to here, we have, this is one of our trim pieces here that covers the end of the split rails, and then we'll have another piece coming across here to cover this end up. So you'll see how that all pans out here in just a bit. Okay, so we got this bit done here. This section is pretty well finished out. All trimmed out around here, all down there. We'll get some better views here in a minute when I go out and shoot with the camera from out the other side. See the top of the handrail here. It's nice and wide and comfortable and smooth. nice round over on it. And good and sturdy. You can't move it even in the middle there. So, to show you the devil's in the details, it takes a bit of time to get it all done, but when it's done, it looks really nice and it'll stay nice. So let's get a look at it from the outside. There we go. Now, of course, we'll have, something there on that side here in a bit. I'm inclined to leave that open so I can back the truck up and load drywall in and stuff. And then there's all that. And then, of course, all the parts here. We've got it rounded off real nice so water won't lay on anything. So we can have a stand back look at it without the wind blowing in the camera too much here. Yep. It'll be good. And then, of course, this is the entryway. There won't be anything here. Then we're going to replicate the same thing down on that side. So anyway, that's it for that bit. And thanks for watching. Till next time.